everybody, and welcome back to Base Level Podcast. Today, I am your gracious host, Amanda, aka Via. Here with me today is Zach, Brandon, and Kane. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
I hope you're having a lovely day, and thank you again for tuning into our podcast. If you enjoy our commentary, please make sure to follow us on Twitter and like our podcast on Spotify. So today, we are going to be talking about more games. I know a lot of us are gamers, and I wanted to talk to you guys about what kind of games we've poured the most hours into. So, with that being said, Kane, why don't you start us off? What games have you spent the most time playing?
Well, first of all, I want to hopefully not talk about this because this game I dread with all my heart because
It's
of all
too
the
late, buddy.
controversies over
It's
the
too
last-
late.
You're done. You're
It's
done.
always too late.
You're done.
It's always too late. But over the last few years, this game has been on an absolute decline. Pretty much a dead game, as many people would say.
Dead game.
And that would be Overwatch.
Oh no.
Very great game. I
Oh,
think
God.
everyone's experienced it in this.
I love
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Oh man,
Okay,
Overwatch best game honestly. Blizzard. I love Blizzard. I love Blizzard.
I used to play so much Overwatch. The first PC game that I had was Overwatch, and I really did like it. But now it's kind of just it's going downhill in my opinion.
I got platinum in the. Is it the Brigida? Like, is that how you say her name? I think that's like how
Yeah,
they.
Brigida.
Nobody,
yeah.
nobody to this day knows how to pronounce her name.
No. But
Brigada?
when she first
Bridget.
came out, when
Bridget.
yeah, Bridget. When she first came out, the meta was absolutely horrendous. I think that for those who were playing then, it was her. She was so overpowered. She could literally 1v5 essentially. Like it was bizarre. And I remember I got platinum that season, and I've never touched the game since. As a matter of fact, I kept the game installed for and I won't install it again. I'm gonna keep it uninstalled.
I think she was OP because she could just one-shot Tracer.
Yeah,
Well, it's not-
and
Stuns were really good.
No,
I
it was just
understand.
because there was she has so much HP, and because of that, she could just constantly heal on top of her HP, give armor to all her different teammates and stuff like that, which just made them really a lot more tankier, and it just created this meta where it was just free tanks and free supports,
oh my god.
which
mean,
was meta for a year and a half.
Oh yeah, I remember
That's
that.
why I got platinum playing Diva. I was a Diva one trick, and I played a little bit of Roadhog.
Ooh, Diva mains.
Yeah,
Rise
Diva.
up.
Rise up,
Dude, I think that Roadhog is her mech.
honestly.
Could that be
Roadhog is her mech. It's like
Yeah.
Freddy Fazbear.
Yeah.
Just climb inside.
Go inside of his
But-
stomach.
Oh no!
If I was speaking about Overwatch, it's also a special place in my heart because I've met so many different people when it comes to Overwatch. Obviously negative and good, don't get me wrong, but they're some of my most meaningful friends through Overwatch. Even though it's on a decline, it's just created also a lot of good memories.
For sure. I agree.
Does it
Even though-
upset you that the game's losing its popularity, or are you fine with straying away from the game and trying new things?
I think, obviously I was addicted for so long, so it feels good to be able to branch out to different games because I can also just find new gems hidden in the rough, which I did find, which I'll talk about eventually on this podcast, which is one of my favorite games of all time. But it also hurts to see that a game with such polish and just detail to it is also dying.
I think we can agree
Yeah.
that Overwatch, when Overwatch was popular, Overwatch was fun, right? But
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
The
for
way-
sure, for sure.
the way the game is balanced is what makes it unfun. And I believe it's hard to balance a game like Overwatch properly and keep it enjoyable for all types of players. There's always going to be a certain part of the player base that isn't going to be enjoying the game, no matter what you do, no matter how you balance the game. And I mean, that goes for me as well, because when I played Overwatch, I just loved playing Widowmaker. Widowmaker was always my pick every single time, but she almost feels as if the last year or whenever I last played Overwatch, she just feels completely useless. There's no point in playing her. But back in the day, she was such a popular pick and she was so fun to play.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
Because-
but I think that she was nerfed a lot, right?
Yeah, she has, because in the developing metas, if you ever watch professional play or whatever, you would always see these insane players just kill 5 out of nowhere, right? People like
Yeah.
Carpe comes to mind.
Yeah,
Household
yeah.
name. Just goes in, kills 5, and it's it looks easy. right?
Yeah, I mean, like
So
I'd say
that's
the same
why-
thing with. Sorry, go on.
That's why she's received so many nerfs, and also there's just been so many characters released since that just feels like she just counteracts Widow.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of my favorite characters that he never really was meta. He was meta at that time. It was Genji. I loved playing Genji.
Oh, yeah.
Huge Genji fan. But it was always so weird because like there was always like, especially in pro play. I mean, Genji wasn't too popular. Like he was. I think that he saw some play. But I don't think much. If I
I think
from
at the
my-
beginning of the game, Genji
Yeah.
was a very popular pick because there were so many weird technologies that you could do, like
Yeah.
ledge jumping and everything like that, and
Yeah.
also just then getting nano bladed or whatever just felt really good. But over time, it just decreased more and more because just more hit scanny type characters became better, like McCree, for example. Or
Hey, that's what I was
sorry,
gonna say.
Cassidy. Sorry. I shouldn't.
Cat-
definitely-
oh
what's
my
his
god,
name?
why'd you
What's
say
his
that?
name?
Oh, we're getting canceled. It's fucking over.
Wait, what is it? Wait,
Wait, can somebody explain the whole Cassidy thing to me? Because I don't
Alright.
understand that.
I will try and explain this as best as I can.
Okay.
So basically, in Blizzard, there's a lot of weird controversies. Let's just say, like cube crawling controversies within the Blizzard offices,
yeah.
where the workers would be very inappropriate towards female employees, which makes you feel very uncomfortable to talk about. And there was also like a few of the developers went into a hotel room and like had a shrine of Bill Cosby or something, which is so weird. yeah, it's so weird to talk about. Yeah,
I never heard that one. I never heard that one.
Wait, say one more time. Bill Cosby, what?
yeah, Bill
Cosby
Cosby shrine. They had like a big photo
Oh.
frame of Bill Cosby and just like moralized it.
Blizzard, everyone, Blizzard.
For sure,
What
for sure.
was
I-
it?
that's-
It's a damn blizzard in that office, that's for sure.
That's for certain.
But one of the developers was named after Jesse McCrew, and his name was Jesse McCrew. So because people, put two and two together, they were like, please change the name of this fictional character, which I still don't agree with, but I can understand it because it's a fictional character. Whenever I think of Jesse McCrew, I don't think about the developer. I think about the fictional character.
Yeah, I think
Where they're coming from, though.
That's kind of like saying, let's just say Zach did something bad, like another Zach did something bad,
what the
right?
fuck?
That would mean Zach had to change his name.
Damn,
Which
I
is
got targeted so hard. What the hell? I got used as an example as a
Yeah,
stepping
yeah,
stool.
Just as a total example, I wouldn't say Zach would be canceled or anything, but like,
Yeah.
like if he were
Now,
to be,
now, Zach, if you were to touch little boys,
like
that
of
that
course,
doesn't
I'm
mean
not saying
all
you are.
other Zachs touch little boys.
Like, of course, I'm not saying he is, but like if he were to be,
Okay, let's switch back to subject.
But like I said,
honestly-
that's basically the controversy behind the whole name
Sure.
of
Okay, I mean,
Cassidy.
I totally get that
Cassidy.
because I think that having something named after you is a bit of an honor. So like I totally get like taking that honor back away. So
Yeah,
that's like so super understandable.
I mean,
think the time
oh.
I think when Kane, I
Go
think I think Overwatch started to fall off for me when they added role queue, in my opinion. I feel
yeah,
like-
because there was a lot of big role queue times where like you would let's just say you were a DPS player, you would queue up and it would be like 7 minutes. You kind of don't want to wait 7 minutes for a game, and then let it be the most devastating experience you ever felt.
for sure.
Because like that's just like queuing up for a league game, and you wait like 10 minutes. You wait 10 minutes to get an hour-long game where it just feels so back and forth, and then you eventually lose.
Do you have another game that you were going to talk about? That like you put a lot of hours into, Kane?
There's another game which I've only found out about around a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
I think
What game is that?
Persona.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
anime game, right? Very epic, As a big weeb myself, I like my anime. But when I come across this game, it felt something completely different from anything I've ever experienced before. It's weird to describe it, I would say. But it's basically just anime, like, what do you call it? What do you call this type of games? Like I was about to say that
Oh,
RPG, but it's not.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's like
know,
a
actually-
turn-based RPG. Yeah,
I don't
turn-based
know what type of
RPG.
game Persona is actually.
it's
I
like
think
a
it's a, I
slice
think
of.
it's a turn-based RPG.
I mean, a side of the game is turn-based RPG, but then the other part's like a slice of life, dialogue-heavy.
Yeah,
game.
the story itself.
It's a dating
Yeah.
sim.
It's like a visual novel kind of thing,
Oh,
but
okay.
with turn-based RPG aspects,
Mm.
which is very interesting.
Damn. Dating sim Pokemon?
Yeah, for real. That's what it actually is kind of like.
I don't know
won't lie.
about dating. Who would we be
Uh,
dating in the game, Zach?
The
And if it's a-
characters. What do you mean?
if it's a-
What? What do you mean? Who would we what? Hello? The characters?
well, you have to think. Dating sim Pokemon, right?
Have you seen
Dating
have you
sim-
seen the Persona characters?
No,
Have you seen the
no,
Persona
no.
characters?
No, but listen to me. If you were to title a game called Pokemon: The Dating Sim, what would you think you would be going on dating sims with? Like who would
Gardevoir.
Exactly, right, exactly, right, exactly, right. So you gotta rephrase that.
Sadly,
Like,
that is the
Yeah,
most like
Chill.
obvious
Gotta
pick.
catch 'em all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch all these STDs.
Oh my.
We don't
my.
condone dating Pokemon.
Wait, do you think Pokemon can even get STDs? I feel like they can get rabies.
Let's not talk about this. Okay.
I'll put it all in there.
I feel like I don't think they actually have the organs to. Actually, they have to have the.
I feel
organs
like
to-
as my
Anyways,
time as
on
a
that
professor.
note- on
Yeah.
that note, Zach, why don't we
After
turn to
graduating
you?
Harvard.
What about a game? What's a game that you've poured a lot of hours into, Zach?
There are a few games that I could probably mention, but the core game that I've spent a lot of time in, that I think we've all spent a lot, well, we have all spent a lot of time in. I know this for a fact, but the most time I've ever spent into one game is definitely Minecraft. And it's for, like, so many reasons. Saying Minecraft now feels so cringe at my age, holy shit. But Minecraft is a game that I spent so much time into, not only just because of, like, how the game is designed, but because of, like, the community. The community of Minecraft was always the one thing that, like, kept me playing the game. Because I met so many countless people on Minecraft. And game modes. Game modes were always fun in Minecraft, too. The things you could do with Minecraft were always, like, very creative. Like, there's so many aspects to that game. There's, like, solo survival, obviously, or there's going on a server, or there's modding Minecraft. There was always so many options to keep the game's lifespan and to keep it interesting. And there were so many things you could always do. But for me, the one thing that always, like, stuck with me was meeting people and, like, playing on servers. And this was, like, way back in the day, like, Skype days. When people would use, like, Skype over Discord or TeamSpeak. Some people would use TeamSpeak. I didn't know what TeamSpeak was at the time. TeamSpeak wasn't really like...
TeamSpeak supremacy, I'd say. UHC survival game, UHC and some survival game servers, but especially when you're doing UHCs, like on like the Reddit UHCs for all those out there who know what I'm talking about. You gotta get in the TeamSpeak lobby. If you're not in the TeamSpeak lobby, you're kicked out of the game.
Really? I never had that
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was like there was a Reddit for UHC lobbies that you could join, right? They'd open up the server at a certain time, and then everyone who joined in, it kind of accepted the rules of the server. Like if it's like a
Oh
custom.
yeah, I knew
like,
about that.
server-
I knew about that.
Yeah. Right, and then you had to join these TeamSpeaks, and if you didn't join the TeamSpeak, it's like, or if your teammate, like, because your teammate could like essentially report you, like for not using TeamSpeak or like for not like communicating with you. Some of them would require you to, but like a lot of them would want you to have a mic and talk. Some people just didn't have a mic,
Oh,
right?
I
So
never played Reddit UHCs unless I was playing with a friend. I never, like, soloed Reddit UHCs ever.
I only played solo UH like Reddit UHGs, right? Like I would play solo ones. I played one random one, and I had my teammate, I think, like died, and then like sat the rest of the call. Like he forgot to leave the call, and he was just eating dinner with his family. Like I was playing UHG, like I was still in the game, but I could just hear them like, "Yo, can you please pass the salt?" I'm like, "What?"
Yo,
Like,
do we got more ketchup?
Did you say like, yo, why was I not invited to dinner?
Yeah, I was trying to get into dinner. Honestly, I was like, screw the UHG game. Please look at the monitor, guys. I need
Yo,
the salt.
Put
I
your
need-
mama
I
on the
mean,
mic. This meal sounded scrumptious.
Yeah, let me thank the chef personally. honestly.
Please.
Yeah. Kane, did you play a lot of Minecraft too?
Of course, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Minecraft, honestly.
Same here, actually. Same here.
Yeah.
Then-
I wouldn't have met Zach, I wouldn't have met Amanda, nor Brandon, if it wasn't for Minecraft. So yeah, very influential game for all of us. I would say.
For sure.
Minecraft,
Right.
like, just launched my direction. Oh my god, launched my direction of like internet gaming in general. Just being online and everything that I've done today just started with Minecraft because Minecraft is what absorbed me into my computer and made me get into internet culture and meet so many different people. And it just absolutely like launched my love for gaming and the internet and just having it. It's also where I could like be myself without being myself, you know? I could
Yeah.
project
Yeah,
my
yeah, for
outward
sure.
personality that I never got to show in real life because at the time, that's when I started to get more introverted.
Right.
When puberty started hitting around, that's when I started to be more introverted and I started to be more aware of things and more self-conscious. So the personality that I couldn't show at school anymore is the personality that I showed online, and I could still always be myself and act as dumb as I wanted to, no matter the situation or what was going on. And going back to UHC a little bit, yeah, I never played solo UHCs because solo UHCs would make me so anxious. If I played alone,
Oh, for sure.
I
Oh,
would
for
be having
sure.
like a heart attack if I'm in a 1v1 situation, or if I heard someone like mining in my cave, I'm like literally having a heart attack because I'm like scared out of my mind. So I would
Yeah, no,
always have to play with
those were the
someone.
best moments. Those are the best moments. Sorry, not to cut you off there, but those were the best moments of like those solo UHCs. Because I would play Bad Lion solos, right? Like UHCs, and that moment, you hear. One time, I remember like I heard mining in my cave. I start mining away, like building up. Then I hear mining to my left. I'm like, oh, like I'm screwed. Like there's another guy there. I keep going up, and then I finally get to grass level. I'm about to break the block. I don't. Luckily, I stop for a second because obviously the grass block being broken is the loudest block,
Yeah.
like out of like the stone and all that. And I hear footsteps of two people above me. Somebody puts a water bucket down. Somebody puts a lava bucket down. There was a whole fight above me. There's somebody to my left down in the cave, and somebody all the way back down at Y11. All around. This was the first like 20 minutes of the game. I ditched the furnaces. That's for sure. The furnaces, the grounding.
My
Like,
iron was gone.
I had still had like full iron. I was kind of just like trying to make an anvil at that point because I had been uncontested. See, okay, to be fair, I think the reason why this was happening was because sometimes what I used to like to do when I was a kid when I was playing Minecraft was and especially in UHC games, I would go to 0-0. That's obviously death ground. Like that's where all the fights are. And I would always be the guy that goes to 0-0 and digs right underneath 0-0 because nobody's gonna go there at the beginning of the game, and people who do are crazy. So they'll like have nothing and die. So then when I pop up, everyone has like nothing or everyone's close to dead, and I just kill them all.
To compare UHC, like how it feels, it's like if you were to play, like if you're a CS player, if you play CS and you're in like a 1v like whatever situation, like where you have to clutch and you start getting nervous and like it's nerve-wracking, that's what playing solo UHC feels like 24/7 if you're not like used to it. That's how it always felt for me. I always felt fucking nervous as shit, like literally almost like anxiety shaking because I know I'm in like these clutch situations where like if I don't win this, I'm dead, and there's no other way around it.
That was the most fun to me because like I to some degree I like being under that pressure because it made me like be hyper aware because I I used to play like face it lobbies and all that like when I was big into CS:GO. And I was an opera for a team, and I remember once like a moment where I actually used all those UHG games where I heard somebody to my left or somebody to my right. I was stressed out by myself, and in a 1v4 situation when I was opping, like like when I was a kid, I was stressed out and anxious about like people mining to my left and right. And now because of that, I have like amplified hearing. Like it's like I trained for this moment. I hear people to my left, people to my right easier. Uh,
Strengthened my skills.
I don't know, really. Like I feel like those bad line games, and most of the time
They
I was
condition you.
crazy. Yeah, they conditioned because I was even crazier. Like you think I won a few games, and one of the games I won, I didn't even have headphones on. I literally was not wearing any headphones the whole game, and I had my laptop muted. So I was really playing like completely deaf that game, and I
It's
still somehow
it's
won.
interesting how like other games can actually help you with like a game that isn't even similar in
Oh, for
gameplay.
sure. Oh, for sure.
But I do want to go like keep on the Minecraft train, and I'm gonna ask this question overall, but I'm gonna bring it back to you, Amanda. Amanda, do you remember what your first ever like Minecraft server was, or one that at least like retains in your memory that was super popular with you?
Heck yes, I do. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the first server that I was ever on was a server called Craftcadia, and it wasn't like one of like the mainstream servers. It was more of like a like it was still like a pretty big server, but like it wasn't one of the like huge ones like Hypixel and stuff. And I started playing Minecraft in like 2013, and Craftcadia was like honestly the best server I'd played on ever. Well, obviously it was my first one, but like it was like totally up there for me. They had like the main game that I played was Infected, where it was like a zombie game, and then like you had to like survive the infected and like not die and find hiding spaces and stuff. And honestly, it was so fun. Oh my gosh, I had so many memories from that server, and like it got to the point that I loved the server so much that I started modding for it, and that's where that's where I met Tom. Like that Tom that I met in 2013. So we've known each other for like years and years now. But yeah, my Craftcadia was honestly one of the best servers.
I can go next. My first server, I remember it. I went to my friend Duran's house. He wrote it out on like a piece of paper, and like I crumpled it up. I remember like I ran home to the home computer. I uncrinkled it, and I wrote it down. Like I level up gaming. I was like, this is the coolest name in the world. Levelupgaming.com. Got in, or .net, sorry. Get in the server, and I was playing like red versus blue, where like you would kind of have like these little islands, and then you would like traverse through it. Like obviously one side is red, one side is blue, and then there was one where it was like a kingdom. So you would like grab the armor, put it on, then go down and start fighting people.
Oh,
Like,
I remember that. I remember that. That was
Yeah.
popularized by like the Minecraft YouTubers.
Yeah. So, but like this was in the early stages. Like this was like 2013, 2012, I want to say. Like this was like version 1.6. So I remember that like going on that server, and then from that, I went to the Hive MC, and from there, I played Mineplex a lot. I remember I played Super Smash Mobs. When I was a kid, that was my thing.
Actually, that game was super fun. That game was
Yeah,
really fun.
I was a Blaze main. All right, anybody can like. I probably still got it, even if I still get on Mineplex right now. I still have like the Mineplex like Ultra or whatever, because now it's like a monthly subscription. But like before, if you had one before, they didn't like take it away from you. So I still have like a subscription on Mineplex, which is pretty fun. But the Badlion, for sure Zach and I would know this one. Badlion is where I kind of spent a lot of my time.
What about you, Kane?
My first server, if I went on my memory, was actually a very small server, which was like a Pixel Island server, which is very interesting because usually people don't start off with mod packs or mods in general. They usually do like vanilla or PvP or mini games, for example. But I remember watching, I think Vixer123, obviously one of the most popular Minecraft channels at the time, and then he was doing a Pixel Island series. I was super interested because it looked very fun, and then decided to hop on to like a small server that was basically doing something similar, and they would do like monthly tournaments, etc, etc. And I just remember having like a level 100 Gengar and just shredding through teams like it was nothing. And then eventually I went as a team that had like 6 legendaries, and I just went, oh, okay.
I gotta get off the server.
I think it's time to go to bed. I'm leaving tonight.
Yeah, I didn't want to win anyways. It's fine.
And then I scammed someone with a shiny Mewtwo in a trading machine.
What?
No.
What?
You took the shiny Mewtwo.
Because
He took the shiny Mewtwo.
I think the trading machine bugged out. So I put like a shiny like Weedle or something, or like a shiny Espeon, I can't remember what it was. And he would like trade me the shiny Mewtwo, which is already a bad deal in itself. He was like, okay, give me a shiny and I'll give you the shiny Mewtwo. And then instantly I went to like, I think a Butterfree that I got from Wonder Trade or something.
My man
But
doubled
because
him
it
out.
bugged
You
out,
doubled him
Because
out.
I think it's because it bugged out. It just showed the shiny like Espeon or whatever it was. And then he traded me it. I was like, Man now.
What the criminal? Oh my god.
Absolute. Lock this guy up. If forever, whoever, like, if you ever listen to the podcast, person who owned that shiny Mewtwo, I would like to let you know that we do not.
We
like,
don't
recommend this. We
condone.
do not support this man. We don't condone this man. This man is
Then
not
I just
with us.
remember the slash messages you would get, and he was like, "No, please, my shiny Mewtwo."
Look at him. Look at him. He's mocking the guy. This guy was in a state of panic. He was crying. This is his
Yeah.
favorite Pokemon, and you robbed him. And this man is heartless.
You had this dude
Heartless.
get his mom on the forums of that server asking to get the Mewtwo back, and you're making fun of him.
And you're sitting here mocking him to this day. To
Can I
this
have my
day.
Mewtwo
Oh,
back?
please give
This
me
guy is
Mewtwo.
ruthless. This guy is still sitting there crying.
Okay,
at the
but like
PC.
the odds of him even getting a shiny Mewtwo is absolutely absurd.
I think it's because if you win the tournament at the end of each month, you get to pick a shiny Pokemon of your choice.
That makes more
think-
sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So it was like the high stakes at that point. So I think he got the shiny Mewtwo that way. And then so just being able to steal that off him because I couldn't win a single tournament. I was too bad at the time. I was
I feel like with
12 years old.
normal like Pixelmon shiny odds, there's no way you're getting a shiny Mew
Yeah.
to get
No
even
way.
get a Mewtwo.
It's
Even a
pretty-
Mew spawning normally, oh my god, it's so hard.
Oh, that shit was hard.
Yeah, still to this day, I struggle. I want to cry myself to sleep.
But not to loop back too much, but since everybody kind of went through their main servers.
That's not true. I didn't talk about my main server.
You
You're
didn't talk about
wrong.
your main
No,
server?
didn't talk about my main server.
Well, I didn't get to talk about the games that
Absolutely
I-
robbed me.
I-
Well, I'm
I-
taking over.
We're
I'm
not-
taking over the lead.
We're
I'm
not
talking about
over
my
to
servers.
you yet,
You know what? You know
Brendan.
what? You know what?
Take your
Go
goddamn
on.
term, you goddamn goblin. All right. Anyways, to go back to Pixelmon a little bit. I don't know why I remember this, but I used to play on Lachlan's Pixelmon servers. Do you know who Lachlan was, Kane? You
Yes.
definitely do. There's
Yes,
no way
for
you
sure.
don't.
For sure.
I
for
love
sure,
Walker.
for
He's
sure.
like,
Yeah.
like my go-to like
Lachlan
Minecraft
was
YouTuber.
so fun to watch back in the day, but I would
Yeah.
join his Minecraft servers or his Pixelmon servers, and I remember also adding an extra mod along with like the Pixelmon mod and stuff like that, where you could do like it was like a better movement mod. And on the
Oh.
parkour, I would like climb up the side of the blocks, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's cheating," because you could like slide around. There were like better swimming animations. You could climb
Honestly,
stuff.
I thought you were gonna talk about Game Shark there.
I actually never used Game Shark.
Really?
Yeah, I never used Game Shark.
Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. I thought like everyone just like tried to sneak Game Shark in, even though it's against the rules.
That's also why I never got any shiny Pokemon, because I never used Game Shark.
Alright, here's a confession. I think it was one of DJ's servers or something, or one of the Pixelmon servers I played on. I remember playing it with you, but I remember getting a shiny every like hour or something. That was close with Game Shark.
Was it you?
Yeah.
No, there was one person who was like absolutely despised in that server because he would get so many shinies. But I don't know if it was you because I don't
was
remember
definitely
the name.
second best though.
Yeah,
I was using Game
there was
Shark.
one dude who would get like shinies, legendaries, everything, like so often. It was absolutely
Yeah.
insane.
But because I just wanted to have the coolest shinies, I was just like, please, I need Game Shark.
That's fair. When I was playing, I always wanted to hunt like as many legendaries as I humanly possibly could.
I didn't care about legendaries as much. It was just the colored variants. I was like, oh my god, I need it.
I remember in one of DJ's Pixelmon servers, I had like 7 Suicunes because they would just always spawn right on my river.
Well, I remember that. It was like every like 15 minutes, it was just a Suicune spawn. And you're like, are you kidding me? Another Suicune?
I would catch like almost all of them. I remember also I got in trouble because this was like later in Pixelmon. This is not early Pixelmon. This is like later Pixelmon before the mod got taken down for copyright strike. But or DMCA, whatever. I would take advantage of the ghost towers. There were 2 ghost
Oh,
towers.
yeah.
They were very close
Yeah.
together, and I had a minecart like rail system between the 2, and I was using them to get as much loot as possible. And he actually took them away from me because I was too strong using these and getting too many items and too many boss spawns. So he took it away from me, even though it was completely normal. Like, it was a part of the Pixelmon mod. I was just utilizing it to the best of my ability. But I think it's because I shared it with too many people that he was like, yeah, we gotta get rid of this. This is unfair.
Yeah.
But if I were to loop back to the original topic, which was my first server, I can't exactly remember my very first server. I do remember one server where I had a lot of time spent on it. There was like survival, parkour. I remember meeting someone who went by the name of Kirby back then. Shout out to her. I don't know what she's ever doing right now. I think I still have her out on Snapchat, so that's pretty cool. I feel like she was also a catfish back in the day. That's a topic for a later time. I don't know. Because
Kirby
she
from
would
Snapchat. Hope you're not a catfish.
she would always like claim that she was like older than us and stuff like that, but she had like a really high pitched voice. But then now like you listen to her like snap stories or whatever like that, and her voice is like way lower. So I don't know if she just hit puberty or if we were getting absolutely like catfished or whatever. But that was a thing. I remember meeting her on that server. That was always fun. Just being able to like chat with somebody random in a Minecraft server, and then all of a sudden you're in a Skype call with them becoming friends. That was always really fun. That's how I met so many people. But one server that I do remember playing on in the early days of Minecraft was playing Hypixel and playing the walls on Hypixel. The walls was such a popular game mode before Hypixel like really took off. I had so much fun playing the walls. I don't
Does the
remember.
wall still exist?
I think the walls does still exist. It's just not a popular
yeah,
game mode
it-
anymore.
I
They're
really
just
do
not as
miss that.
popular. I loved you know the one where it's like again red versus blue, but it was like it was like the dome. Where you,
Oh
like,
yeah, the
one
dome.
side,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah, the
god.
dome, yeah. Where you would like most of the time you would just have like two sky bases, and then like you just be like farming flint at the top because you had the chicken farm, you get all the feathers, and then most of the time it would just be two sky bases versus one another until like it had like reconnaissance men going back down like troops.
So
Fortnite.
you've reunited a memory inside of me because I used to play a lot of Minecraft factions. I played a lot of Minecraft factions and would meet a lot of people this way. Someone who's really familiar with this topic would be my friend Hunter. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. We met these two people. One was named Cole. I don't remember the other one's name, unfortunately, because it has been a while. But one of them was named Cole. We met two people, and we became like really good friends with them and had a faction going. And we were like one of the most like popular factions. We went by like Team SB. And off of that, ended up meeting a lot of people. And this is when I started recording Minecraft videos. And one of my first ever Minecraft videos I did was about the dome with like all of my faction members and their friends and stuff like that. So we did a recording of the dome. It was absolutely scuffed. I think a few people recorded it. I don't know how many posted it, but
I think
it
you
was-
told me that one actually.
maybe, I don't know. I might have. It's really scuffed though. And you can also see me like, I think I tried to cheat at one point in the video and never took it out. And you can see in the comments, they're like, oh my god, he was cheating. I think I tried to like, I don't remember. I tried to cheat in something, but then it, like, I messed it up somehow. So I had to take it back. So I didn't actually like full on cheat. Like I wasn't like hacking or anything. I think I tried to use like /wand or something. I don't remember for what reason. I'd have to go back and look at the video. But yeah, the dome is one of those like game modes that I played very early on with random people that I met. Someone had a server, and so we set it all up and recorded it, and it was a lot of fun. I think we had other people in there from DJ server as well. Kane, do you remember Ultralink?
I think you just referred him to as Link. At
Yeah,
the time.
Link. He was Ultra
Yeah.
_ Link though.
Okay, yeah.
He was I think he was also in there. I don't remember. There was a lot of people in there. I can't entirely remember. But before I was introduced to DJ, like DJ's community, I was with Xylo's community. So I think I might have met him through that way, and I think he was also a part of it. I don't know. I can't fully remember. There's a few people there.
Wasn't it because of Xylo's UHCs that you actually met DJ's community?
That yeah. I think it's also because of DJ's Pixelmon server that I more like met his community.
Oh yeah, because they were like crossing over at the time.
Yeah, they were like best friends at the time.
Yeah.
And so I met a lot of people through Xylo's UHC. That's one of the also like early servers that I played on was again my friend Hunter. He always loves to do like these random things where he just randomly like looks through like Twitch or like YouTube and like finds these creators that like nobody's heard of, but he enjoys them. So he found someone by the name of Xylophony, and he figured out that Xylo would host these UHCs every Friday. So any chance we would get, we would try to get into these UHCs and just have fun. I remember at the time, Xylo and DJ were also becoming friends with these other huge Minecraft YouTubers. I think one was Waffles, and I think Vicstar was there too. I actually think
Oh,
Vic
yeah.
was in one of the UHCs. But the UHC was getting a little bit bigger, but it was still like a tight knit community. Like everybody knew everyone, and they were a lot of fun. This is Xylophony's UHCs are also how I came to met more friends that I still have to this day, that we are still friends with to this day, and we all have like this one Discord group chat that we're all in, that we still like, we frequently talk to each other in. But
That's really cool.
I think
That's really fun to say.
besides Xylophony's UHCs and like meeting all these people, these UHCs were a lot of fun. I could go on about these UHCs forever. There were so many things that happened, and there was one person who was like really good at the game too. I don't know if he was like cheating or if he was just absolutely insane at the game, but I remember him being really good. And I think he was like one of these people that is like good at any game he touches. Which, God bless, I wish I was like that. But
Wait,
I
Ayo, you met Minecraft Tons?
yeah, it was Minecraft 10.
Minecraft 10.
I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
you were ever part of the UHCs, were you, Kane? You were just a part of the Pixelmon
No,
community.
I only played UHC once in DJ's community. I
Yeah.
almost won, and then the server crashed during the UHC.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
It was
That should've
so
been
sad because we were like, I think it was just me and him against one person. We were actually about to win, and then the server crashed. So there's actually no winner.
I don't know if you'll like recognize his name, but he went by the name Private Piggy. And
Oh, that
this
rings a
dude
bell.
was nuts. He was nuts at the game. I remember the one time I played with one of my friends, Christian, that I met through Xylophone UHCs, and we ended up winning one of them and killing him, and we were like so hype about it. It was a race to the end UHC.
Oh,
And
yeah.
me and Christian just absolutely dominated this UHC. It was so much fun. UHCs are such like a core part of Minecraft for me. It was like
I
my
think it's maybe-
big on spur into like the competitive community, just in like
Yeah.
every game. Like it's what inspired my competitive integrity and made me realize that I am like such a competitive person, and that I love to like go against other people and try to be like the best that I can be at games.
Well, you guys talking about UHG like triggered like a memory in me that I completely forgot about actually. But there was like this not super well known server. I can't even like remember the name of it now. But I don't know if you guys have heard of like Maze Runner and stuff, like the book and like the movie and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I remember there was a
yeah.
Minecraft server with Maze Runner. I used to do that.
There was a server with a Maze Runner game mode, and it was so fun. You had to like you spawned in like teams, and you had like a day or so to prepare supplies and stuff before trying to like eliminate the other teams in the maze. But there were also like these monsters in the maze. Like I think they were silverfish, but like they like would kill you in one hit or something. And they were so scary, but it was such a fun like server, honestly.
I could not remember that server name though, to save my life.
Can't either. It was some
Neither.
I don't know. Anyway, so I know we talked a lot about Minecraft, but let's move over to Brandon now about games where you've poured a lot of time into.
There's a little bit of a lesser known game. It's not known to too many people. It's kind of a smaller game. It's known as League of Legends.
Indie company game.
Wow, I've
Riot
never
Games is
heard
a
of
really,
I've
Riot
never
is-
heard of the most popular MMO that's free to play. That's crazy.
MMO?
MMO. Yeah, man's stuck
MMO?
on Lost Ark.
It is an MMO.
I
Yeah,
know it's a
is-
MOBA.
It's a- I
Massive
think it's a
multiplayer
MOBA.
online.
Isn't it an MMO?
Uh,
What does MMO
uh,
stand for?
massive
It's a
multiplayer online.
massive
Yeah,
multiplayer
that is an
online,
MMO.
Yeah. Not MMORPG, as you guys
Yeah,
are
it's not
thinking
an
of.
MMORPG, it's an MMO.
Oh yeah.
Can't educate you.
Wait, are we talking
we're-
about Lost Ark or League?
No, we're talking
League,
about
League.
Okay.
League is an
we're stuck
MMO.
on- We're stuck on Lost Ark. We got the Lost Ark mine. But yeah, League of Legends. I've been playing League of Legends for a very long time now. I can't pin what season I started, like because I was like really young.
Better question, do you remember
Um,
why you started playing the game?
Yeah, I do. So at the time, I had been in this like CS:GO group, with these with this group of people, and I played with them like a little bit, but like we were like really close friends just in general. And when we would play CS:GO together, there was this girl that would always play, and I forget her name, but I think her name, if I remember correctly, I think it was Moxie. Ironically, there's like a Twitch streamer named Moxie as well, but yeah, her name was Moxie. Well, that's at least that's what she would go by, right? And she would always be playing this other game that like everyone else would like was like, nah, we don't want to play that. And then one day she invited me to play it and made me like download it overnight. So I downloaded League, and I remember playing. I played my first game, and I remember like it was just the most interesting game to me because I didn't understand what was going on. It was so much harder than CS:GO was to me because I mean first person shooters I've been used to at this point, but I remember just I used to main two champions, right? It was Twisted Fate. It was my first main ever, which is kind of a random champion to main. I was just young and I liked his hat. He has a cool hat to me when I was a kid. He does have a cool hat. He has a cool hat. And I made Ezreal. And I would play both those champions in the mid lane. I would not. I remember when I first started playing the game, I would build Zeal, like old Zeal on Twisted. I would build like 6 Zeals. That was my whole build on Twisted Fate every game. I that because of the attack speed and the crit, I thought this was big brain. I would max his like E ability. It was fun. But to the League of Legends fans out there that are listening, I hope you're enjoying this little bit of a throwback. Like the old Twisted Fate was so much fun to play. But I remember I used to play the 3v3 game mode. Oh my lord, it's Twisted Tree Line, Twisted Tree Line, or Dominion. Dominion was so fun. Like those, like so it was like you're playing up against bots essentially, right? But the bots like had like their abilities were like amplified. Like Yasuo would like shoot out like 1,000 tornadoes. Like the enemy Sona bot would like shoot out 20 ults at once and like follow you with them. Like the bots were crazy. Like they like I remember one time the game my game almost crashed on my old laptop because the Malzahar bot ulted minions around me, so there were so many Malzahar effects of like his ult underneath somebody on the street that my game froze.
Do you remember when we were playing the custom game on Split in Valorant and I killed you like 30 million times?
Yep.
And then there was a kill effect. That's probably what it was like.
Oh yeah, exactly. It was exactly like that. And yeah, no, I remember like those old parts of League where I would sit there for hours and just play. I eventually stopped playing League for like a few seasons. Like I'd say from like I think if I could pin it down, I was playing around like season 4, like end of season 3, and then played from season 4 to like 5 to like 5, middle of season 5, and then I got back into CS:GO a lot because my friend wanted me to kind of be on the team. So I played a lot. I played a lot of CS:GO then, and I would kind of like dive into like different games, and then I eventually, years later when Pike came out, season 8, I was playing. At the time, I was big into VR chat, and there was a guy I met on VR chat. I hope he's still out there. The friend group. It was a great friend group. Like named Pug. And him, and at the time this friend of ours, Peachy, they taught me how to play League of Legends, and they regretted it. Like, okay, he was a toxic Draven one trick, so he was not the nicest player to play with in the bot lane for certain. Like when we would play, I used to main Old Pantheon. For those who remember Old Pantheon, really simple, like really simple. Like he was, you would throw your Q, you'd just stun, your E, you'd stand still and poke the air for some reason. And your ultimate was like a circle instead of being this whole like grand entrance. And the only champion I played was Pantheon. I refused to play any other champion. I would every game, no matter what role, no matter what I was playing. As a matter of fact, in season 8, the first ranked season that I played from coming back to the game, I got to gold because I played Aftershock, tank Pantheon, top lane, no jungle. It's either top or jungle, and I would duo with a jungler or a top laner, and then I would just permanently ult as a top laner into the enemy jungle's buffs, and I would win games because I was Aftershock Pantheon, so I would just never die and build full tank and just be a support for my jungler. I remember back in those days of just like it was fun. It was fun. I eventually stopped playing Pantheon as much and went back into my main role which was ADC. Especially, I used to play a lot of, I didn't really play much when like Jin was released, but when he was first released, I like downloaded the game again because he looked really cool. I went back to my Jin and all that, and I think that, I mean, Amanda and Zach know one of my main champions would be Aphelios, and for sure a champion that I've spent a lot of time, put a lot of time into.
You even
But
like cosplayed the fellas.
yeah,
And that was a really good cosplay, honestly.
yeah. Thank you very much. But League of Legends, I don't know. It's just a game that I've spent too much time in. Like my account, like that I'm currently on, like I think it's like almost like 2,500 or 2,400. But like that's not counting my previous seasons, and I would sit for hours of like practice tool games.
There's also
Just,
like
like-
alt accounts and stuff like that that you can also
Yeah,
count.
alt accounts, and all that. So like, and I didn't even talk about like, the champion that I played the most, which was because of Dota. If for those who played Dota, anti-mage, he was just like he was anti-mage, right? That's his name. It made sense, right? So then when I played League of Legends, there was this guy named Kassadin, and that's another champion that a good amount of people know me for because I, I love that the reset style, but League of Legends, I think it's a good game. I think that at its core, no matter how the community is terrible, absolutely
He's terrible. My goodness.
horrendous. Like I am playing I am Batman and I'm playing with like the Arkham Asylum. I'm literally living in Arkham Asylum. I'm playing with 9 players who should be locked up in like Arkham Asylum because they're jokers. They're the clowns. Like these people are something else for sure. Like I remember one season, 2 seasons ago, season 9, one of my first this like first games going into the new season. I was excited. I was like, oh, here we go, new season. I'm gonna win it all. I'm destroying my laner in the top lane. Absolutely having a great game. But unfortunately, Twisted Fate, my mid laner, decided not to like the game anymore. So he started getting mad because the Nocturne on my team was trolling him somehow. Don't know how. Still, after watching the game, didn't know how. But somehow Nocturne was doing something like, he wasn't ulting before he had it. I think Twisted Fate called for Nocturne to ult him when he was level 4. So no idea what this guy was on. But he started running the game down. And then Twisted Fate started winning. And then my Nocturne said the N-word 10 times and then literally started ulting the enemy mid laner under their turret on repeat. So when I say the League of Legends community is full of people who deserve to be locked away for centuries, like we're talking like put these people and like mummify them, never let them out again.
There are definitely some people on League of Legends that probably should not be playing
Any game.
League of Legends is a type of game that like it just inspires toxicity because of the way the game is played. Because you're so like dependent on other people to play as well as they possibly can, to itemize correctly, to do what they're supposed to do. You're like dependent on these people to play the game correctly at every turn. And even like I feel that even more so with this recent season. Like I feel like you're absolutely dependent on your whole entire team. Feels almost impossible to like solo carry. But League of Legends is also a good example of like mob mentality. Like toxicity breeds more toxicity. If people see other people being toxic, they're like, all right, maybe I can get away with it too. Like this pent up anger that I have, maybe I can start spewing it out too. And just the obvious, the anonymity that is the internet. You can just say whatever you want and get away with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like toxicity breeds more toxicity. So mob mentality just takes over and everyone's like, all right, I can be toxic too.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me because I remember I started playing the game, back in the old days of League, there was not as much toxicity. Like, people complain about League now, but like before in League, you wouldn't even select your role until you got into the game. Like you would have to so you know how pick order is in League now, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, you would pick your champion and your role at the same time. So if you were last pick, 99% of the time you're support. It didn't matter if you were a mid main, top laner, a toxic jungle.
I can definitely see why that got changed.
You also used to be able to queue up with as many people as you wanted. It was the dynamic queue where it didn't matter how.
Oh, so there's no solo duo.
There was
Solo
no
duo.
solo.
Duo.
Solo duo, baby. But there was no solo duo. There was no flex. They were just one. And I remember I remember one time I played up against a game. There was a game where I was, I got I didn't get the role I wanted. I was playing, I was pulling out, some of my my new tech, the technology, I keep away for like, rainy nights. I pulled out the Twisted Fate jungle. I didn't know how to play anyone else at the time. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I died to my jungle camps like probably like 5 times. At a certain point, I actually think I left for dinner and died to blue buff, like executed to blue buff because I just I didn't like think to get away from the blue buff after like leaving to get the food. I just stood still and hoped that he killed it with his cards. But I remember old League, and I love hearing these, like, especially with League having like talks with people who've been playing League for a long time. Like there's either two camps. There's these people who are delusional, who are like, bring back old League, bring it back. I want old. No, you don't. No, you do not. Sure, the game is now more complicated, right? But do you really want to deal with half the people talk about the new client, bro? League of Legends, I tell you what, it's a game that I can go on forever about. Honestly, it's the game I've spent the most time in. And honestly, to this day, the game sucks, but I love the game.
No, me too. I totally agree. Like it's a game that you can always come back to, you know?
Oh, for sure.
And the aesthetics of it are honestly very captivating.
But yeah, the character design, like the gameplay is good. Like as much as the gameplay can be annoying to play against, like the fact that there's this many champions.
Yeah, but
in
when
League
you
of
get
Legends-
thresh hooked by a hook that's not even actually on you, then the
Oh, yeah,
gameplay is
oh,
questionable.
Oh yeah, no. Like the actual like the amount of bugs are in the game that have been in the game for like literally there's a bug that's been in the game for a decade and is still not fixed. I couldn't like there's a YouTube channel like Vandril that literally just exposes like bugs. That's all he does. And half the time his bugs he shows don't even get fixed. They don't care. They don't care. Like I don't know. Riot is like we were talking about before Blizzard and their like the whole like cube crawling.
Yeah.
I mean, Riot Games was the exact same. Like
I think it still is.
I think yeah, it could still be. Like there was like there were so many walkouts for Riot Games headquarters from like sexual like assault allegations. Like Riot Games and Blizzard were essentially the same, right? But it's crazy to me like how having a popular game that didn't die out kind of just saved the company. Like imagine there's another world where like Overwatch is still as big as it was at its prime, right? Do you guys think that they would be in like such shambles as they are now? Or
I think Blizzard has just made a lot of very bad decisions over the last few years that
Oh,
has
for
just
sure.
made them decline so heavily.
yeah.
But Riot Games has just made like a big global market where it feels like all this good news outweighs just whatever's happening
Yeah, I
inside
feel like
the actual.
like what Kane
Doesn't-
exactly what Kane's saying. I feel like Riot can bounce back with like literally anything because they have so many other outlets to go off of. They have League, they have their music that they also do with League. They have now Valorant. They have other sources that they can
Like-
go to, and it'll still spread positive light.
Like the biggest example of just the biggest advertisement for Riot Games in general was Arcane.
Oh, for
Arcane
sure.
Was
Arcane
generally
so well done.
yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Like
for sure.
literally anybody can experience Arcane, not know anything about League, and can just have a good time.
I mean, there was an article that was like made like, don't play League of Legends because you watched Arcane. Please,
I remember that. I remember that.
Stay away.
No, I mean
Get away
they're
from the
they're
game.
absolutely
True.
right for that. They're 100% right for that.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
but like I think I kind of wanted like you guys are more talking about like bouncing back from like bad games, like their game being bad. They have a lot of different venues. I more was talking about the fact that the companies are essentially the same, right? They were both under scrutiny by the government for essentially the same allegations of like higher ups abusing their power, and Riot Games has essentially been able to like walk away without any.
What
Like-
was the weirdest? Just on a little tangent between Riot versus Blizzard.
Mm,
What was weird to me during this entire allegation between both of them? Blizzard came out with a survival game out of nowhere, seemingly, just to try and like put some attention to that, even though there's no hype towards it. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, and then
Like,
like Riot did like essentially the same thing by like doing, like I think it was around their, I could be wrong
their
with dates,
10th year
but
anniversary.
yeah, the 10th year anniversary. They had
Yeah.
this whole big 10th year anniversary event, which maybe they were gonna do beforehand. Like maybe it's kind of hard to accuse them of like purposely doing it, but it was perfect timing for when they were having these huge walkouts at the company and all these huge issues. And it's kind of crazy to me because I was kind of thinking about this like with online creators as well. The idea that like there have been so rare that people can actually get like canceled and like be 100% removed. Like I mean, I think a recent example would be like EDP, like
Oh,
Eat
yeah.
the Pussy 445. He's like people are like solar radar like following him. Like he's getting kicked out of motels. He was a Lyft driver for a little bit, and then he got kicked
yeah.
off a Lyft. Like
Damn.
That
people
EDP
are-
story should be saved for another time. That is a very
Yeah.
wild story, which we could talk about for like
but
an entire hour, I feel.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, just like he got canceled, right? And honestly, I think that he's living like his life is crazy.
Yeah, like I think it was so sad because I think it was like explained that like he might as well be in prison because his
Yeah,
life
yeah. Honestly,
feels like a prison.
yeah. I mean, honestly, maybe I don't want to say sad because like
The things he did was sad.
like you want a cupcake? You
No.
want
You
a
want a
fist
fist
bump? A fist bump?
Yeah,
Cupcakes and fist
yeah.
bumps.
I think the unfortunate part of like EDP is the fact that he had like such legendary meme content. So to just see him ruin his own career like that, just because like I don't know, whatever urges fucking took him over or whatever emotions he was
Thing
feeling and
was-
decided to make his mistake, like now all of his like legendary meme content that he's come out with is just in shambles, and it sucks. Because like if you're like, damn, I like these memes, this shit was actually funny, but now it's weird because of the shit he decided to do.
True.
I think the thing was I watched or read something recently where it was like he's been doing this for quite a while, but it was only told recently because of the guys that called him out for it that it actually came to the limelight.
Yeah,
Like
I could
he
see
was on
that.
streams he was like on streams like talking about all these like really nasty comments about young girls and stuff like that, and no one just like called him out on it.
All
Because
right,
they
anyways,
thought that he was
this
just memeing.
is a weird ass topic. We gotta get off this topic.
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about
I
that.
want to before
No, yeah.
Amanda brings up her game and goes on to her topic. I want to ask you guys because we were on the topic of League of Legends. Brandon said his first League of Legends main, but what was everyone else's first League of Legends main or the first character they tried out?
Okay, well, I think but my first main that I started the game with was because I'm trying to remember exactly. I don't remember exactly why I started playing League, but I do remember that I started playing Annie, and I played her for so long, and then like I realized that I could unlock other champions. Like I played her for a while, and then like I started playing other champions like Lux and Ari.
A whole world opened up to you. Your eyes just
A whole world.
your
a
eyes
whole
exploded.
world of girls.
I mean, I would have stopped at Tibbers. Tibbers is too cute.
Tibbers is adorable. But yeah, and then they started releasing like more and more champions that I really wanted to try, and I think I like now like my top mains are definitely Nico, who I love so much, and then also Seraphine. Seraphine is like one of the newer champions that I absolutely adore, and I don't agree with all of the hate that she gets, but I don't know.
Seraphine's release was probably like the most creative release I've ever seen. First, like in like champion, agent, hero, whatever for whatever type of game.
Did you say unique?
Uh,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it was like I mean, was it unique?
It
Yeah,
was
it was creative. It was creative for
Uh,
sure.
I mean, like, sure. I think that the reason why people were upset was the fact that she had no lore. Like,
No,
like
no, no,
for-
no, 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 no. That's not why people were upset. People were upset because it was a fake character online
Yeah, that's true. that's
posing
true,
that
part
they had
too.
like anxiety and depression.
What
I
is-
think. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think she said that, did she?
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't say that. Yeah. She like implied that she was like going through depressive times and this and that, and having like having issues with anxiety.
And people
Um,
people were like, this literally isn't a human. Like, what is
Yeah,
this?
like, this is the well. I mean, it is a human, right? But
Well, obviously,
isn't
yeah. Behind
real.
it, it's like it's like VTubers, for example. It's still a person behind there. There's still someone doing all the
Exactly,
work,
right?
but it's a
Exactly, right.
character.
I feel like another big part of like her hate was the fact that her story was basically that she was like standing on a stage made of Skarner's people and like laughing and dancing about how like everybody cheer, everybody happy. Skarner's people, screw them. I'm dancing on them. Like she dances on the on the stage, and like the story of the fact that it's supposed to be like the another League of Legends champion Skarner's people that she's like just dancing on. I don't know how much
Dancing
I
on their corpses.
literally dancing on their no it's not even their corpse, it's their like souls, like the souls of their people, like she's like dancing on them.
I'd like to
She's
know
really-
how like it felt for the person who was running that account to suddenly go from like such popularity to literally 0 because this champion got like released on League, so they had no need for like the accounts and the socials anymore. It's like they have this whole experience of being able to be this character and singing these songs, doing covers as this character, tweeting, like they had this whole superstar moment to themselves, and then it's all like suddenly just taken away.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I mean, it's the same thing with every champion. I mean, like this one was a huge one, right? But I feel like with anything, like I feel like they signed a contract for that, right? So they knew ahead of time that like this was gonna be this like kind of 15 seconds of fame, right? Like you're getting this fame, you're like, I mean, singing and all that. That was there was like one like more like under. I think it was it the artist? It's herself that was actually like posting.
Yeah,
Like,
she posted covers like as Seraphine.
Yeah, exactly, right. So like the person who was going behind it, I think they knew what they were getting into. Like I'm pretty sure I watched a video. if
I
I'm not
mean, yeah, they
mistaken.
definitely knew, but it's like it'd be like a hit song coming out and they're a one-hit wonder, and then you never hear from them again. It's you had all this
yeah.
fame and popularity and success, and then it's just all taken away from you. But in this instance, you've signed to it, and you know exactly what's going to happen, and that you can't capitalize on this anymore, which sucks. Like they don't get any recognition for anything they did, but I mean, it is how it is because they signed to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I see what you're saying now, but I don't know. I think that if I were to sign a like for a different angle would be like an online creator or somebody like that, going kind of cycling back to what I was like saying before, an online creator like having stardom, right? And you see all these online creators that get popular, they always seem to like kind of let themselves like get like not all of them of course, but like it always seems somehow like they let their power, like the people who were there at the beginning, they kind of just like they completely like disregard like this and that, you know what I mean? Like people like change with popularity. So like I wonder how it must feel as like I guess kind of like basically asking the same question you asked, like I wonder how it does feel to lose essentially everything, right? Like you go from being the center
She
of
better have
attention.
gotten paid well for that.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
if you
Oh,
get
for
paid well
sure.
for that, it's probably worth it. But at the same time, like, she had so many like followers across all these platforms that
She had to live
she
another
could have,
life.
yeah, she pulled a Hannah Montana, but
True.
she could have utilized this to like launch her own like career. But since it's Riot and it was a League of Legends champion, she can't be like, oh, follow like who I actually am. But if she did have that chance, like it would have like probably changed her life. Like she would have been
I do think
you
that
know
she is credited. I do believe she is credited. But I wanted to say as well, there isn't an argument to say that she would have never gotten that chance. You know what I mean? Like
I
it's like
think
the
so. I think she would have. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a coin flip as to if she actually can capitalize off the popularity that she grew from that account. But it was also like when you're following the whole like Seraphine the Seraphine agenda, the whole accounts and stuff like that, you're following like her personality, right? And she could definitely use this whole personality that she used as Seraphine to her advantage in a different way, and people would still follow her personality over, in my opinion at least. I think she could have definitely capitalized off of it and made a name for herself in some type of way.
I think that kind of just like to expand upon that, I think that's something that they can put on their resume though. I think that like that's a huge thing to have on your resume, because obviously you have to be credited to some degree, and Riot Games isn't going to like say like, oh, this person is real, like they're gonna it's gonna be on your resume as like you basically were an actor, you were a this and that. So when you're going to other companies, essentially you can have a career out of being other people. Which I mean,
I'd like to know if it's like VTubing, because for VTubers,
right?
like we were talking about earlier, I don't want to mention like specific names because I don't want to give away identities just in case.
Maybe not.
But there are
Oh,
VTubers that have like alternative accounts to who they actually are. So they have their VTuber account and then they have who they actually are, and they're legally allowed to do this. They just can't disclose the fact that it's them. And even if people, I heard one of these VTubers on their actual account that isn't their VTuber account, they were mentioning the fact that people in chat are allowed to disclose that it's them. They just can't disclose that it's them. But if they do like say it in the chat, they're gonna get banned or whatever, because obviously you can't have that spreading around, because they have to try to hide it as much as possible. So I wonder if it's the same for the person who took over the identity as Seraphine before Seraphine was actually in the game. If they aren't allowed to like disclose it's them, but they're allowed to like talk about it.
Yeah, like because I mean, like they have to be able to put it on their resume as something like they worked for, right? Because they were employed by Riot to do
Yeah.
this, right? So there was a contract there, right? And that's gonna be something like on a resume, like I think I watched a video of the guy who does the voice of the new Fiddlesticks,
Mhm.
of him like kind of recording how it works and all that. I think he talked a lot about how much like Riot Games, especially I mean League of Legends, like Lost Ark, all these different games, they come out. They take the #1 spot from League for a bit, but let's be honest here. League of Legends is still the undisputed most popular game out there. You can say all the smack you want about League. You can say the game sucks. I agree. The game is terrible. But Riot Games and League of Legends, they are the biggest. All right, like like the time of CS:GO and all these other games. I mean, like they still are popular in their own right, but compared to League, like League of Legends has 158 million people. That's more than all of Steam.
Yeah.
Like all of Steam. So the fact that they have that many players consistently, that's a huge thing to have in your resume. And working for that company, they're really picky with who they choose. So having that on your resume is essentially like that's a huge boost for like other companies wanting to work with you.
Yeah. Kane, what do you think about, or how do you feel about some of the League of Legends champions?
What, just character design in general, or?
Yeah, just character design, or like which characters you like most relate to, or like
Well, what was your first main, or
Yeah,
what did you
yeah.
first
my
play?
first main?
Yeah.
My first main, if I can recall, because it's been, what, 4 years, I think, since I got into League of Legends? 5 years, maybe?
I'm sorry, Kane. I did this to you. I'm so sorry.
I'm pretty sure it's Karina. I'm pretty sure I started off Karina because I thought she lived the coast because of the scar on her eye and everything like that. I'm really big into like eye detail when it comes to art, so I just saw that and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this out. And she was basically like Ursa Scarlet from Fairy Tail, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah, true.
That's fair.
But then I paved the way because it was because again she's a very all-in type of person, which I'm not
Yeah,
really.
she's
big
an
fan of.
overwhelming character to learn.
Yeah.
For sure. For your first character, yeah, Katarina not the best option.
So I went to top lane, and that's the role I basically just played for the rest
Jill.
of my life. Jill. I enjoy top lane. I don't know why. I just really love just the thinking of it. But
True. It's a lot of
like,
strategy.
I went towards Poppy. I don't know what was the idea behind it. Maybe it was just the fact it was a short goblin with a fucking like a big ass hammer.
And pigtails,
That's
huge
what I was like-
pigtails.
Thor, if he
Yeah.
got compressed.
Yeah.
Especially Star Guardian Poppy. I love Star Guardian Poppy.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite skin by far. I love Stardew.
See,
Stardew
her
Her new
Valley
skin,
Poppy.
her new skin is really nice. The bewitching
Yes, a new
Poppy.
skin.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
be
that
with
was
I didn't see this. Right after the podcast, I'm looking at this.
Oh, you have to
Kane,
wait
at
until next
least you
Halloween.
at least you picked a top laner where you're not criminal for it.
Yeah, at least I didn't go. Well, guys
At least you didn't play
Well-
Jack's top lane.
Yeah. One of my M7s is Jax. Yeah, I played the Aurelia.
I
The
mean,
Fiora.
I
I
Nice
like playing. I like
one.
playing a whole lot of variety on top lane. But if I had to pick a champion I really enjoy, like playing Poppy or Veigar. Those are my two champions.
Viego.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's just
Interesting.
the fact I can kill someone, I can copy into them, and then just like play with their abilities as well. I think that's
sure.
just a very cool concept. Even if
Yeah.
he's like a really bad pick in general, maybe
Oh no,
at the
he's
moment.
broken right now. He is
Okay,
broken right
perfect.
No, well
Perfect.
okay. Don't give this man false
now.
like
No,
false
no, no,
hope.
no, no. He is broken.
He's not broken
Yes,
in the top
he
lane.
is
He is
absolutely
not
not in the
broken.
top lane, but he is broken.
Yeah.
He is a good jungler. Don't play him in any other lane. Like
But like I just loved just being able to just do this pavement, stun, like just all in, copy, like go onto all the different targets. I think it was just a very cool concept to me.
Don't get me wrong, Viego's broken, but don't pick that shit in my games. I'll run it down. They're gonna in my games. I'd rather you're not.
If I was just picking characters that are fun to me or really cool design wise, it's Poppy or Veigar. That is all.
I think any
Okay.
Viego player I've had on my team absolutely runs it down. But for my first character that I ever picked, I think I started League in like 2018, the beginning of 2018, the end of 2017. And the reason I played I didn't want to play this game at all at first. I was like, this shit looks like it sucks. I've played League one time. It wasn't enjoyable. I played League like so long ago, and the only thing I did was I got into a game with my friends and we just hid in the bush. They were like, all right, we gotta get in this bush and we gotta hide and we gotta ambush them because you're invisible in this bush.
Ambush. Get
Yeah,
it?
we were ambushing. And that's all we did. We didn't really play the game. We didn't really know how to play the game. We just hid in the bush and we ambushed. And that was about it. But eventually I picked up the game at a later date in 2018. My friend Hunter, again, that I've mentioned so many times, this dude's stuck to me like glue. This man's a leech on me. But he wanted to play League of Legends, and his IRL friends that he was in this anime club with were all getting into League. So they all started playing League together. And I didn't really want to play it at first. I was like, nah, there ain't no way in hell you're getting me to play this goddamn game. But then in my brain, I was like, you know what? It might be cool to play with friends. I think he'd enjoy it if I installed the game and played with them. So I ended up installing the game randomly and then just telling him like, yo, I installed the game. And he was like, wait, what? And I played for my first time with him and his friends. And the first ever character I played once was Ari. I played Ari and I was like, yeah, I can't play this. This is bad. I suck with this. So I ended up looking through the characters, and I don't know what appealed to me, but I decided to play Nocturne. Absolutely criminal for playing Nocturne, but I decided to play Nocturne in the jungle, which I feel like is the worst thing you can possibly do if you're first starting out the game, is to play in the jungle. It is the hardest
It's
lane
really hard.
to
yeah.
learn because there's camp timings, there's properly like your routes and shit like that, doing your routes properly. Different champions need you to take like different camps to be as fast as you possibly can. Like some don't full clear, some will only half clear, stuff like that. So it was hard to learn. I would binge I would binge Night Blue 3's videos.
oh, he's a
to-
night blue fan.
Yeah, I mean, he had the anime content. He would always have like these anime pop-ups or like sound effects or music playing in his
The
videos.
bleach sound effect.
Yeah, so I
Gotcha.
enjoyed watching his videos, and I think he was one of the first like videos that popped up when I was like looking up Nocturne or something like that. So I watched his videos, and I would copy the exact items he would buy and the route he would take and shit like that, and just try to mimic everything. And so I had a lot of fun with Nocturne, but eventually I ran into a different jungler that I ended up putting way more time into. That wasn't Nocturne, that was Master Yi. And Master Yi,
Oh my goodness.
Master Yi was just so easy to play and so easy to pop off with too. Like he was an absolute hyper carry. And at a low ranks, he's really easy to play and really easy to get away with. So it was just so fun to be able to like kill people and pop off and seem like I'm doing really well because I'm playing a really easy character. But it was just like a rush because you'd always be doing really well with him for the most part because he's easy to play. So I put a lot of time into him just playing normal games. I put a lot of normal games with Master Yi. I was watching Cowsep. I would watch Cowsep's videos because he's one of the
Cowsep,
he's one of the most popular like Master Yi mains still to this day. And so I'd watch his
Does he even play the
videos.
game still?
Yeah, probably. It's Cowsep. Who knows? This man just
Bro.
puts a cow onesie on and plays Master Yi in League of
He
Legends.
does.
Like,
He does it every day.
this man's absolutely criminal. He's wearing a cow onesie. But yeah, I would watch his videos and again copy and try to mimic what he did and pay attention to every little detail that I could. And then I would switch up after that. After I started playing Master Yi, eventually I got into ranked because one of my friends was like, yeah, if you want to get better, just play ranked. Just queue and don't give a shit about the game. Just play ranked and try to get better because that's where people are going to be more competitive. So eventually I got into ranked, started learning other characters, other champions. I got really into Kane at one point. I was really, really good with Kane.
Oh my.
Kane was
You
very
into me?
fun.
Hey.
Yeah, I was really into you,
Huh?
Kane.
Wow,
Thanks, man.
Kane.
Yo, dab me up.
Yo, I got you.
Thanks, man.
Ayo.
I would like never touch red form though when I played. I was always want to play Shadow Assassin and popping off because Shadow Assassin was the more fun form for me. So I'd always go for Shadow Assassin, and then same with the YouTube thing. I would go to Karasmai and watch Karasmai and figure out what the hell I'm doing because he'd always have a video on it. But eventually, I did branch off from jungle as a role and started playing ADC. And again, following the I wouldn't say a worst mistake because the reason I switched off is because my ADCs were always absolutely horrible. So I was like, all right, I gotta take this role upon myself. And then it just reversed anyways. My junglers started being absolutely horrible, so it didn't matter. But at the time, I was like, yeah, I gotta cover the ADC role. These guys are bad. So eventually I got into the ADC role. And I think it was good because I needed to learn how to lane anyways. The only thing I knew how to do was jungle. So I needed to learn what it was like to lane anyways. And same thing as earlier, same pattern follows. I would pick up a champion and then I would also learn how to play them. So I would watch XFSN Saber. I still love this dude to this day. I still watch this dude from time to time because I don't know why I love him so much. He's just chill for the most part. I mean, he does have his moment. Every League player has their moments where they have a little bit of rage in them or they get angry over something. It's League of Legends. It's going to happen. But I loved watching him overall, and he had such informative videos that would teach me a lot. And I still watch him to this day if I'm trying to polish my League skills and learn something new and climb. But I got really into Caitlyn because I would watch his combos, and at the time, this apparently was a bug. But Saber got really good at Caitlyn's double headshot auto cancels. And I don't know if he was the one to invent this, but he was the one to definitely popularize it and use it a lot and get really good with it. So because of him, Caitlyn was getting really popular and was known for her like Riven-like mechanics that she could use herself. Eventually, this got taken away, which was really sad. I was really fucking depressed, by the way, when this got taken away. Because I knew it was like really upsetting for Saber, because Saber was popping off on YouTube and Twitch because he was so well known for playing Caitlyn at an extremely high level and doing shit that no one like even knew about. Like even Double Lift was impressed seeing the shit that Saber was doing on Caitlyn. But yeah, it was a really sad day when they just decided to claim her mechanics as a bug and then wipe them off the face of the earth. It was very sad. But yeah, Caitlyn ended up being I think Caitlyn now, to this day, after my role switch and after learning Caitlyn a lot, Caitlyn became my highest mastery champion. I still enjoy Caitlyn a lot. It sucks that she's really like in and out of meta, depending on how they decide to like nerf her or buff her. She comes in and out of meta a lot, and I would never say she's really like always a viable pick. But if you're good with her, she can always be a viable pick. But yeah, Caitlyn ended up being the one champion that I really ended up enjoying. And I think it's because of those combo mechanic videos that I watched. I was always trying to do those mechanics. I got okay with them. I was never at his level. He was absolutely insane with these mechanics, and he was known for them. But I got to an okay level, and him and watching him play Caitlyn is what inspired me to play Caitlyn and get better at that champion overall. And eventually, I just got so used to her playstyle that I just kept playing her more and more, and she became my main champ. And became my highest mastery champ, too.
Nice. We love to see it. Well, I know that we talked about League a lot, but I'm going to switch to our final topic. Well, not topic, but I'm gonna talk now. Well, just a little bit, you know. Anyways, so I know that we talked about a lot of PC games, but I want to bring up some Switch games because for me, Animal Crossing, even though I know everybody already knows this, but Animal Crossing, I have 864 hours in, I believe. So
That is a
That's an
lot.
that's an
of hours.
atrocious amount of
That's
hours.
on a month.
Animal Crossing is like my fallback game. Like New Horizons was such a good game, honestly. And while I feel like the community didn't get the attention that it deserved in terms of like regular updates, I do think it's a super solid game. And I don't want to talk about too much about Animal Crossing because I know that you guys don't play it as much. But if at all, to be honest. But I do want to talk about Switch games as a whole because I know that Legends Arceus came out. I know we talked about it a little bit, but other Switch games that are like coming out or have like come out that you guys like really feel invested in. I think that's a good topic to talk about for a little bit until we have to end.
So did you ever, if Animal Crossing is something you're really invested to, did you play the earlier games before the new Animal Crossing game?
Yes. Heck yes. The first GameCube game that I owned was Animal Crossing Population Growing. Woo! I played that one and when I was just like a wee tot. I had no idea what I was doing, but I loved it.
You said
so
a
much.
what
I
now?
was
A wee tot?
I
What?
was a wee
That's
tot,
that's
a
some
wee
boomer
tot.
lingo. That is some boomer lingo.
What?
Bruh. But no, I played that all the time. I have like super nostalgic memories of like hanging out in my brother's room on like rainy days and playing on his GameCube, playing Animal Crossing. And I've played every single Animal Crossing game. I've played Wildwood, I played City Folk, which I think is super underrated. City Folk does not get enough attention and I feel like it should. But yeah, New Leaf I had, oh my god, I had like so many hours. Not as much as New Horizons, but New Leaf I had tons of hours in. But yeah.
I'm pretty sure I rage quitted Animal Crossing.
Damn, bruh.
I'm sorry. What?
You
How did
What?
you rage quit? Like what caused such
Look-
anger?
What caused
Let me
such
explain.
anguish?
I'm pretty sure I played the 3DS version of Animal Crossing, which is New Leaf, I think it was. Yeah. If I'm not correct on this. I think it was
I'm
New
pretty
Leaf.
sure, it was New Leaf.
Yeah.
It was New Leaf.
And then I think I started up. I was like, yeah, this is pretty chill. Right, so I started shaking a few trees. And you already know what's coming next. The beehive hit me. And I'm like, bees. And I already hate bees. That's like my biggest phobia. So I just see these bees chasing me. I'm like, and then,
So you were done.
yeah, so basically me as a very dumb kid, I kept shaking these trees expecting really good things to come out of them. But no, just nothing but bees.
Bees.
And yeah, bees. And it made me want to cry myself to sleep. So I closed on my DS, threw it across the room, and hid under my pillow.
Aw, Kane.
Animal
Scared of them.
Crossing might like be a like that's a traumatizing experience. That game gives Kane PTSD. I don't think. I don't think.
Scared than FNAF, I think. Like,
Scarier than
Five
Poppy
Nights at
Playtime.
Freddy's.
actually. Oh, don't even talk about Poppy Playtime,
That's an experience for only me and you because I tortured you to play that game.
I
This
still haven't beat it.
this guy this guy is absolutely tortured with the horror. I mean, like I'm not a big fan of horror, so
I think I started sweating pinballs playing.
I don't know
Poppy
why.
Playtime.
I don't even know how I convinced this man to play this game. I was just like, all right, I bought it. You gotta play.
Yeah,
I was like, I already spent the money.
money.
I already sent it to you. You gotta play it. He still hasn't
So-
beaten the game.
In terms of,
yeah.
other Switch games, have you guys like played games like Smash and stuff?
I played Super Smash Bros. On the Wii.
So wait, I
Brawl,
can
yeah.
definitely get into the Smash topic. I mean, I do want to ask you. I'm gonna answer this question myself because I did forget to answer this earlier. But the way I got into, like, when I was talking about Minecraft, the way I got into Minecraft was because of one of my middle school friends, and that's what like inspired everything. I ended up like meeting one of my longest known friends, Elijah, one of my IRL friends that I had met when I moved there from North Dakota. I met my another friend named Zach, but he is the one who like basically introduced the game to me and popularized it for me, and that's how I really got into Minecraft. But for you, how did you get into Animal Crossing?
Honestly, I don't know because I was too little to remember. I just have like a really vivid memory of like my brother saying like, I think my brother went to my dad and he said like, hey, I want to get this GameCube game for Amanda because it's super like comfy and she's like young enough to like it probably. I don't know what the heck he meant by that. but but no, and so like I just remember like this is kind of cute, but like it's like a core memory. I remember holding my dad's hand when we went to GameStop, and he like picked out the game for me, and like it came with like at the time the GameCube, the Animal Crossing Population Growing came with like a little like Rover GameCube card, I think, and so like he picked it out for me, and he was like, "All right, sweetheart, we're gonna get you this game," and I was like, "What's a GameCube?" But I went home and like my brother taught me how to use the controller and stuff, and like that was honestly like a core memory. Sorry, I'm like tearing up now. That was like a core memory for me.
She's like, I love Animal Crossing.
I do. Okay, I do. It's like my comfy game, and like the fact that like
I fucking love
my
Animal
hand
Crossing.
and-
Fucking
Oh,
Animal
okay.
I
Crossing.
love Animal Crossing.
Anyways, go on.
Um, But no, it's definitely like one of my favorite games, and I just have so many like good memories of like hanging out with my brother and like having him teach me how to play games and stuff. And yeah, Animal Crossing is just a game that I can always turn to, and that's probably why I've got over 800 hours.
I love the difference between like for each person's experience with games. You know, like Overwatch collectively, oh my god, like that's terrible. But Minecraft, I was like, oh yeah. League of Legends, death, like in the coffin, like jail time. Animal Crossing, like heartfelt stories, like this and that. League of Legends, people said the N word 10 times and
Honestly,
ran down my game.
if I talked about Persona more, you would hear very more heartful experiences, but that'll be for another time.
The craziest part
yeah.
is that we can like absolutely shit on these games, but we still enjoyed them. Like we can't deny the fact
Yeah,
that
for
we
sure.
enjoyed them and played them for a reason. They're
I still
bad.
do.
Like the
We
communities are
made
bad,
memories
but
with them.
yeah, I think that's definitely probably why I continued to play these games, even though I like might have disliked them at the time. Is there was just so many memories made or memories to be made by playing with your friends and just having a good time. That's always what keeps a game going for me.
I have Stockholm syndrome.
I'm,
And then- at
I'm
this
in
point
love with
League-
League of Legends, but it's
and-
captured me.
Yeah, no, it is truly like locked me up. Like I literally have I'm sitting on a League of Legends chair currently. Like
Yo, play the Tower 1 clip.
yeah. Like
I'm
truly.
addicted to that kind of clip.
Oh, you know what also is another really good game that's actually on the Switch, so it's kind of related. But Stardew Valley
Yeah.
is a
mm.
game.
I was
that's
gonna
like-
mention that. I was actually gonna mention that.
Yeah, it's such a good game. Something that I can definitely always
Oh, for
turn
sure.
to.
But you never said what do you love most about Animal Crossing?
Oh, probably just like the whole like slice of life dynamic, sort of like you're living.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, kind
I
of.
love
like,
how we use slice of life as lingo because it relates to anime, even though we've only had one episode that was like mostly about anime. Eventually we will get back to the topics. But yeah, I love how we use slice of life as lingo.
Yeah, you know the slice of life, like the
I
shonen,
used Slice
the
of Life
shonen.
to Persona earlier because it was an anime game.
Yeah.
So I can say that.
No, definitely like the comfiness of Animal Crossing and like the whole like designing stuff, especially in like the newer games where you have super like like a lot of accessibility to like designing the world around you as well. I think that's what I really like about it because like you make the island or like the town or whatever game you're based in, you make it your own. You make it like based off of what your interests are and what your style is. and you like along the way you get to interact with really cute NPCs, and I don't know, it's just super duper customizable. And I think that's what I mainly look for in games, honestly.
I think it's recently with Animal Crossing as well that it's easily portable as well. So wherever you go, you can play Animal Crossing,
Yeah,
and that's
totally.
what's so comfy about it.
What about the Animal Crossing community?
Oh my god, okay, so I have a lot of friends actually that are in the Animal Crossing community that are also content creators. Such nice people. The nicest people that I have ever met, honestly. There is that like one or two like toxic people. I've met like one person on Instagram that's actually extremely toxic and is also
There are
homophobic.
toxic. There are homophobic,
They're
toxic.
homophobic. But
Oh, no.
What?
that's one out of like thousands. Most of the people
Yeah.
I meet that play Animal Crossing are always such sweethearts.
Yeah, I kicked that villager
Really?
off my island. He was homophobic.
No, it's not like that.
I kicked that villager off. I do not want those kind of villagers on my island.
I will say the biggest issue on like social media with in terms of Animal Crossing creators are people who don't credit codes that have been made, because people code like custom designs have been like available via the internet for I think since I want to say City Folk, I believe, but I could be wrong there. It might have been Wild World as well, but I believe that custom designs should always be credited because it doesn't belong to the game. The design itself belongs to the person that made it. Like it's basically like art kind of. But like people that like use codes and then don't credit, which I have experienced because I've designed an FU dresses and stuff for Animal Crossing, and content creators will like use addresses and not credit me. I'll just be like, well, I mean, like I would have liked maybe like, hey, this dress, by the way, is by Via, and I don't know. There's a lot of controversy over that, but I do support the fact that like you should always credit where credit is due. So that's like the main like subject of toxicity in terms of the Animal Crossing community, because because people will like get upset over not their codes being stolen or so forth.
Yeah, for sure. I think not to keep talking about League here, but it's like 1 in 1,000 people that are really going to be that toxic in League, like similar to similar to your game. It's just the community is just so nice. Like there's small things that happen, like really minute things that like some content creators are exposed for just like racism, a whole bunch of terrible things like being toxic, telling people to end their life. So I mean, very similar, right? Like very similar. I'd say like a lot of all these communities, despite being different, are all like kind of the same. They all have very similar like themes with kind communities. Minecraft has a really great community. Overwatch community. The amount of people that I met, the amount of people that I met on Overwatch who were just so kind on voice chat. They were just my best friend. They truly like they had my back. If I made a bad play, they made sure to tell me it's okay. Don't worry about it. You'll do good next time. I was totally not told to never play DPS again in my life. Stop playing the game. Never touch the game again.
I think we were all told that at one point in any competitive game.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Stardew is a really good game to talk about because I think that we've all like experienced and played it, honestly.
For sure. I Stardew is a really fun game, especially a relaxing game. I do find that I eventually find myself like not playing it, like I slowly as I keep playing it for longer and longer, it's like I don't know, I don't get into those kind of like it's harder for me to get into those kind of games anymore. Casual ass games. I don't know. Except it sometimes I can get into them, but sometimes I don't know. I think it just depends on the game.
It just depends on like your frame of mind, I feel.
Yeah,
Because
for
like
sure.
sometimes you just need to just chill out some days, and then sometimes you just want to be competitive.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think it just depends on how you're feeling that day, and I feel like with everybody, especially on this episode, talking about their favorite game, I think that you should be proud of whatever game is your favorite game. For all those out there. And by the way, everybody watching, please comment what your first game was. Kind of what games you've been putting the most time into, because would love to know. I guess kind of include you guys in the conversation more or less. But yeah, no, I think that no matter what game you play, you play them for a reason, right? People can make fun of you for playing whatever game, but honestly, they're probably playing a game worse. Like they're probably playing League of Legends. So it could be. Trust me, no matter what game, even if you're, I mean, Amanda and I could talk about this. Like, I used to be big into Geometry Dash, like huge Geometry Dash player. That's actually how Amanda and I first talked to one another, was because of a Geometry Dash, right? So
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
yeah, that
That was
like,
crazy, dude.
yeah. So I mean, like, that was years and years ago, right? So which we'll save that for another episode. I think that should be like a kind of like a special episode of like just talking about how everybody met one another and the stories behind that. But furthermore, I think that it's just, I think you should be able to be proud with whatever game you play as your main game. Don't feel like you have to change your main
Don't-
game for others.
Yeah, don't gatekeep your own
Yeah.
games. Let
True,
people
that's
enjoy gaming.
Exactly. Everybody can play whatever game that they want to play because they want to play it, right? That doesn't matter. If you don't like it, doesn't mean that good for you,
That I mean,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that one. I ain't telling my friends to play League of Legends. I'm saving their mental
Oh,
health.
okay, yeah, you know what? Never mind. Maybe you're saving lives.
I'm saying
You're on the front lines. You're on the
He's
front
doing
lines.
I am the
charity
medic.
work
I am
over
the
here.
medic.
True. This guy is saving
I am the
mental hospitals.
TF2 medic.
Honest to God. No, never mind. If it's League of Legends, on the other hand, stay away. The art, if you ever think about playing League, if you ever saw it, League of Legends free to play. Don't run. The fact that it came into your mind was the get out.
I think
That's fast
everybody.
Night inside.
I think everybody, like, if they're going to talk about League of Legends to other people, it's going to be a bad experience. Like, you're gonna have a bad experience, so these people are gonna know not to do it, but they're gonna do it anyways.
On a more serious note, though, League isn't that bad. Like, don't get me wrong. When you play it for years, it's terrible. But
You'll have your fair share of experiences in League.
you'll
for
have
certain.
fun in League. You will have fun in League. You might have terrible experiences. A funny story that I was actually I just thought of bringing up now was, my father in the summertime, right? My dad, he got into League of Legends. Okay, he was like, you know what, I want to play a game with you. Let's play a game together. All right, and the League of Legends community was not the kindest. And he does not play League of Legends anymore. So, suffice to say, League of Legends isn't for everyone.
League of Legends humbled him.
Oh yeah, no, not even. I think I remember him saying something like, "I don't want to play a game where these people cry and complain about how I'm playing when they're playing even worse than me." And I said, "Yep,
Yeah, that's League. That's just
yeah,
basis.
that's exact. That is everybody in League of Legends is playing Type Racer. Honest to God, they are playing Type Racer the entire game, like trying to see if they could type up as many terrible words to their allies as possible. I don't even know why they do it. I think they do it out of just pure hatred.
I want to roll back to Stardew though. I think we talked a little too much about League.
Yeah,
Too
sure.
much League talk.
Sure.
I would like to talk
Do
about
agree.
Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is not a game that I was initially interested in, even though I'd put like a bunch of time into Minecraft, which you could say they are similar games, but they are played differently. Like, obviously Minecraft is 3D and Stardew Valley isn't 3D, so they're a bit different. But initially I wasn't too excited to play Stardew. I was like really in the competitive mood. I mostly always am, because that's what like fuels my brain. That's what keeps my small attention span, is competitive games. So I was really roped on playing competitive games more than anything, but eventually I just gave in and played Stardew Valley, and I really like Stardew Valley soundtrack. Stardew Valley soundtrack is like really nostalgic. Even when you're haven't played the game before, it feels like you've already listened to this before, and it's really nice to just listen to. Even if you're not playing the game, even if you just have the game open and you're just listening to the soundtrack, I guarantee some people to this day are just listen to the soundtrack by itself and probably don't even play the game.
I really like the way you worded that, actually.
Yeah.
The fact that you haven't even played the game yet, it feels like you already have. That is for sure exactly how it feels, especially listening to Stardew like soundtrack, because it takes you back to, like, it almost takes you to a place that you've never been, right? Which I think that with most games, I feel like with a good game that you can sink a lot of time into, there's that part of it that really it sinks you in, really. Like it takes you to a place that you've never been taken before.
I don't want to go on too much of a tangent because I still want to talk about Stardew, but that's how Bleach felt for me when I first watched it and heard the opening.
Oh, for sure.
That's how Bleach felt. It felt very nostalgic, even though it's something I had no memory of, like, even watching when I was younger or watching overall. But you hear the first opening and you're like, damn, I feel like I've watched this my whole entire life. Like, I feel like I've lived this story already.
Exactly, right? It's crazy how it's crazy how like games, like anime as well, and just so many different like so many different like things that can just make you feel so like nostalgic, yet you never felt it before. Like it's crazy how like music can allow you to get so nostalgic over essentially nothing. Like you've never experienced these things before, right? So it's pretty interesting.
It's like, for, I don't know, I mean, obviously music is like one of the most influential things on Earth. Music is a huge medium in every way. But
Yeah.
talking about like nostalgia and stuff like that, yeah, no, it's super cool to be able to like play something and be introduced to something and feel like you've already done it before, but it's still a fresh experience. And fresh experiences for games are, they're so hard to describe. It's so fun to get into a new game and have all these like new experiences, and it's so exciting. And then eventually, like, you're so used to this game and you look back and you're like, you remember slightly how it felt, but you can't exactly remember how it felt, and you kind of miss that feeling. It's like a fleeting feeling of, again, nostalgia, but you can't entirely encapsulate that memory because it's in the past and you've already had that first moment. But sometimes you'll be playing these games and it'll just come back to you and you'll be like, damn, now I remember like why I played this game, or why I enjoyed this game or loved this game, or I can kind of feel how it felt when I first played this. And it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling overall, no matter what. Like when I was playing CS, the most nostalgic thing for CS for me is the lobby music. So I
Oh
usually
yeah.
play with that off. So when I heard that again after like years, I'm like, holy shit, I feel like I'm playing Counter-Strike for the first time again. And I feel like it's the same, it's definitely the same for Stardew. Like if you don't play Stardew for a long time and you hear that music, you're just gonna have like a wave of emotion like taking you back, feeling like it's only been like 2 days since you've like actually played, even though it's been years. And it just feels like it's another day. It just feels like it's taking you to just another day. And that's what's like so fun about games overall, is just the feeling they can give you. And when people like, again, the soundtracks hit, so I just hit my fucking knee. God. Oh, when I am, but yeah,
Really hitting.
this nostalgia hitting hard.
It is actually attacking you.
Yeah, music is such a like a good display of emotions for games, for anime, for everything. And like I was saying, if you don't play Stardew for a long time, but you ended up playing it again, it feels like you literally didn't miss a day. It feels like you just played this yesterday if you end up picking it up again. It's such a calming and relaxing game. And for me at first, I was like, yeah, this is really boring. I need my brain to be more on like go, go, go mode. But once you let yourself like get into the mood and let it take over, it can be really nice and relaxing. And I think Stardew is, again, has a really good soundtrack. But I like the way you can interact with villagers, and it feels limited at times, but there also is like a lot of options for what you can do, like to get yourself more advanced, like mining, fishing. I always love fishing. I really love the legendary fish that you can catch. I think that's such a cool mechanic that they added.
Oh yeah.
I
for
really
sure.
like that. But yeah, there's so many like different things that you can do, and you can work on all these classes to like max them out too. And again, it's just really fun. And as Amanda was saying with Animal Crossing, it's just really relaxing overall. Again, it can be a little bit boring if you're not in the mood for it, but when you are in the mood for it, it's really nice and refreshing.
For sure.
I think we're about nearing the end of our episode now, aren't we?
I'd say that we talked about a good amount. We had a
Yeah.
good amount of topics that we've gone over, just kind of.
I mean, unless the master miner himself, Kane, wants to make an entrance on the Stardew.
Does he have a
Um,
Stardew topic?
What I would say about Stardew, I think Stardew just brings so many masterpieceful experiences for like its many like cutscene events and everything, and it just all pieced together nicely. Like it feels like there's constantly something happening in Stardew, even if it feels repetitive with like, everyone's weekly schedules of the seasons and stuff like that. But like it has a really cool weather system, like just the interactions of like just the unique paths of all the different characters that you can have, just makes up a very casual experience that you can put countless of hours into.
Kane
sure.
says this while he spends 90% of his time in the mine.
This man
I was
is.
like,
truly
Kane,
living the
how do
miner's
you have so much like coins? How do you have so much gold? He's like, yeah, I just been mining, bro. I'm like, what? I'm out here
This man
farming
is
my
living-
crops for a goddamn month, trying to make as much money as he is.
I love how I'm always so fatigued in Stardew Valley that I always go to Zach's house and I just sleep in his bed instead.
Yeah, because you don't know if you're gonna make it back in time before you pass out.
I'm just like, hey, can I sleep in your bed
Oh,
tonight?
please, can I sleep with you and your cat and your wife and your dog and your 3 children?
And you're like,
Man's
one
really
person
couch surfing. Man's really couch surfing.
I was just like, yeah, I need this house tonight. I didn't knock or anything. I'm coming in.
I'm pretty sure 90% of
yeah.
the time you were in my house though, it was because you were about to like pass out.
My house is like all the way at the bottom of the farm, and I'm like, no, I'm not going all the way to the bottom of the
I
farm.
can't
I'm
make
going
it.
here right now.
I can't make it. I'm on my last
I get the
leg.
exact same sleeping experience with extra.
True. You get a little bit of a pillow to cuddle up to.
Exactly. Which
It's-
is Zach's cat. Bruno.
You're
We love
true.
Bruno.
Oh, right.
Supremacy. It's nothing like
Bruno's
Minecraft,
rules.
dude. You sleep in the bed, you're fine. But when you're in Stardew when it's nighttime and you run back home, you're like, oh shit, I'm against the clock. I'm about to die.
Yeah, literally.
You can let me snuggle up.
Hello, please. I'm
More
back.
so in the recent updates to Minecraft with the what do you call the little bat thingies that like swoop down and like
the phantoms?
yeah,
phantoms.
the phantoms. Yeah, they just
They're
swoop down and
spooky.
like hit you constantly. It's like oh,
That was such a
no.
cool addition, but I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
True. I agree. Those guys are so annoying because who sleeps in Minecraft? No one. Let's be honest. We're constantly like our Minecraft character is sleep deprived.
Even though at the age of 7 years old for me, I was told to not mine at night. I still mined at night.
Don't mine at night. You know I know you're looking at that cave. All right. You're feeling kind of
You're
brave.
feeling kind of brave.
Go to bed. It'll be all right.
Don't mind at night.
Don't mine at night.
Damn.
And I think that with "Don't Mine at Night" being a cappella sung, I think that's when we end off of the episode.
Yeah,
What do you guys think? You think that that's the
Yeah, no, I think that's a totally great.
I'm
end
satisfied
for
enough.
me.
perfect part to leave?
We touched on a lot of topics, and I think like the main moral is just like value the games that you love, because if they bring you happiness, then they're the right kind of games.
Exactly.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, I was your host for this evening. My name is Amanda, aka Via. You can find me on Twitch. My Twitch is Via, VIAE, and my socials on TikTok and Twitter are Queen Via, again spelled VIAE. Guys, you wanna put your socials?
Yeah, for sure. Go to my Twitter, Karitoru. Pretty cool over there on Twitter. I think that's about it. I think that's the only thing I have to plug. How about you guys? You got anything else to plug?
For me, I go by Kaneindspair on Twitch and Twitter, so that would just be KANEINDESPAIR. Both on Twitch and Twitter. Now go on to Zach.
As everyone should know, we are on the 3rd episode. All our socials are in the description, so check the description below. You can check me out on Twitter, Twitch, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that a
and-
website? Was whatever a website? Can I go do you have an account on that one, or
What?
there's no way you just r/whoosh that one, huh?
What? No. Like,
Wait,
what the fuck are you talking about?
You said you could check me out on whatever, and I said, do you have an account on that? Like,
I hate
can
you.
find
I literally
on whatever?
despise you. I fucking despise you.
Anyways, if you guys like this episode, please make sure to check out our Twitter. We are Base Level Pod, and thank you again for a wonderful episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.